Chicago bracing for the arrival of National Guard troops as President Trump doubles down on his claim they're needed to tamp down on what he says is out of control crime.
We could solve Chicago very quickly, but we're going to make a decision as to where we go over the next day or two.
Over the weekend, Trump sharing a manipulated image of himself with a twist on a quote from the movie Apocalypse Now. The caption says, "I love the smell of deportations in the morning," and the line, "Chicago about to find out why it's called the Department of War." Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson firing back, saying Trump wants to occupy our city and break our Constitution. Trump pushing back.
We're not going to war. We're going to clean up our cities.
Thousands of Americans hitting the streets of Chicago and D.C., protesting against the president's threats and deployment of some 2,000 National Guard troops to the nation's capital. For weeks, the president has threatened to do the same in other Democratic-run cities and states.
Why target Chicago and Boston when there are cities in red states with higher crime rates?
Yeah. Really higher than Chicago?
There are, like Memphis and St. Louis.
Excuse me. Do you know how many people were killed in Chicago last weekend? 8. You know how many people were killed in Chicago the week before? 7. You know how many people were wounded? 74 people were wounded. You think there's worse than that? I don't think so.
But FBI statistics from 2024 show that several cities in red states, including Memphis and St. Louis, have significantly higher murder rates than Chicago. It shows Chicago has 17.5 murders per 100,000 people, while the rate is 40.6 for Memphis and 54.1 for St. Louis. But the Windy City did see a particularly violent Labor Day weekend. This as the administration escalates its immigration enforcement. DHS says ICE raids have now launched in Boston, just days after authorities detained more than 300 South Korean nationals during a raid at a Hyundai plant in Georgia. That operation rattling America's close ally, which had promised to invest $350 billion in the U.S. Trump looking to reassure South Korea, now proposing the country and foreign companies doing business in the U.S. help train Americans for jobs.
ICE was doing right because they were here illegally. But we do have to work something out where we bring in experts so that our people can be trained so that they can do it themselves.
Now, that Hyundai incident is raising questions as to whether the president's deportation plan is clashing with his economic goals. Now, the president is brushing off the latest jobs report, but many economists say it is President Trump's tariffs and his immigration crackdown that are causing some real cracks in the economy.